All right, we're going to keep them rolling, I'm told. Here we go. Are you ready for another one, London? Say yes, sir. All right. Your next contest is debut fighters. Somebody's O has to go in both columns. Somebody's going 0-1 and somebody's going 1-0. Are you ready for it, London? Here we go. Making his way out to the blue corner, please welcome Ryan O'Shea.
So Ryan O'Shea coming here from Stratford, so just a few miles down the street. And you know a lot about the gyms in this area, Stratford, BJJ. We're also seeing Munda Jiu-Jitsu that he's going to be up against. We may see the same kind of style. And what's interesting when you see two jiu-jitsu guys coming into the cage, not everyone knows what they're watching, but it's because it becomes just so high level at times.
Yep. You're seeing Ryan O'Shea. He is the head coach and owner of Stratford BJJ, decorated black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, coming from the world-famous Toronto BJJ Academy there and Jiu-Jitsu for Life team under George Brito. So his Jiu-Jitsu game is fantastic. He has not dabbled in mixed martial arts at all. He's I've seen him in the grappling scene. I know what he brings to the table. But this is his first fight.
Well, and it's interesting because he said he tried to fight 10 years ago, but it was illegal at the time and wasn't able to compete. So now he's getting his chance.
Yep. No, it was the MMA has been a battle to get in Ontario. It kind of had a little bit of a break in the last few years, but it is back.
His opponent
is back in full force.
Making his way out to the red corner. Please welcome Seth Connor.
What's amusing about Seth Connor is that we just saw Chris Lee Byrne fight. He's going to pull a Yui just to come back and corner Seth, being his head coach, but also coming out of a jiu-jitsu club.
Yeah, and now I've worked with Seth Connor personally a few years ago. Solid guy. You don't find a nicer guy than Seth Connor. That being said, he is one of the trickiest jiu-jitsu guards. Once he gets on his back, like, he's at home. Forget about being in London. He wants to be on his back. That's where he wants to be. He wants to throw those legs up. Triangle is his middle name. Seth Connor is an excellent jiu-jitsu practitioner. This is his pro debut in mixed martial arts. He's not shy of the MMA cage, though. He's got a 15-fight amateur record coming into this bout. So the experience advantage in mixed martial arts, hands and feet go to Seth Connor. Jiu-jitsu edge maybe goes to Ryan. It's going to be a super exciting fight. I know the game that Seth likes to play. He's definitely got some traditional martial arts background. He's got tricky kicks. He's throwing them from all angles, and he's got the reach. He's got the 6 foot tall. He's got long arms, long legs, and that's advantageous to stand up and jiu-jitsu.
It's interesting when you make that transition. A lot of the guys, are coaches, and then they come in and fight because you get to that point, and I'm sure right now you're like, I would love to get in the cage because you know so much. After you've been coaching for so many years, you see things totally differently.
And here we go, London, Ontario. The following featherweight contest is scheduled for 3 rounds, being brought to you by Domino's Pizza and Dr. Faisal King Rahman. Introducing your fighters. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed in white. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, he weighed in at 145.6 pounds. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu specialist representing Jiu-Jitsu for Life and Stratford Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He comes to the prospect cage for his debut fight tonight. Fighting out of Stratford, Ontario, by way of Toronto, Ontario. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Ryan O'Shea. His opponent across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks trimmed in white. Standing 6 feet tall, he weighed in at 145.4 pounds. He's a freestyle mixed martial artist representing Munda Jiu-Jitsu. He also comes to the prospect cage for his professional debut fight tonight. Fighting out of and representing London, Ontario, ladies and gentlemen, here is Seth Connor. Ladies and gentlemen, this featherweight matchup will be decided in 3 rounds or less. Referee BB 12 times, Brian Beauchamp.
Seth was about to go for something there.
Good job, though. Mixing it up, going to the legs, going to the head.
See that?
Yeah, closing the gap. I think both of them were looking initially to go here. Good knees at the center, kind of working it. And that's what you want to do is trying to be really active when someone's looking to clinch.
It's going to be interesting to see. You see 2 jiu-jitsu practitioners. What's going to happen? Are the jiu-jitsu games going to cancel each other out? Or are they going to hit the mat and have a good old-fashioned jiu-jitsu match?
Well, Ryan doing a good job of, kind of staying low, and he angles out. He hits that. You see that slip jab, and the problem is we have Seth's chin a little bit high, so he's got to be careful with that straight-up stance.
That's dangerous, especially fighting a shorter guy just like that. Just like that. Big right hand over top.
If they can learn to bring their feet with them a little bit on those shots, it'll be a lot heavier because that was a big overhand right.
Nice turn from Seth Connor now. He's got Ryan O'Shea on the fence with his back against it.
Ryan does a really good job of bringing knees up the center, and now he's getting the response from Seth, knowing how they're feeling. I think they're probably both leery of going, not leery of going to the ground, but knowing that the other one has expertise there when typically you'd face somebody that wouldn't have the same level as you.
No, and like I said, maybe that's just what it's going to be. They're going to be basically canceling each other out, and let's kick and punch our way to a victory here.
Well, if I'm, if I'm Ryan, I'm looking to separate a little bit. I think he's been pretty successful, with his hands because he's got the angle. He's throwing a lot of those knees as well. He's got to mix them up, bring the knee and then let go and let his hands go.
We were saying that earlier tonight, the body shot. But what about the body knee, Kara? That is devastating. You're talking about body shot times 10.
Luckily, for Seth, he's a little bit taller, so O'Shea hasn't been able to land them super heavy because of the height difference and the leverage.
Yeah, but they are hitting flush. So I'm sure the breathing is definitely disrupted. This is where they're comfortable, closing the distance.
Yeah, I'd like to see them post out and get to work a little bit. And big knee up the center. Looked like it hit Ryan O'Shea. There. His head is low. Only has the 2 points on the mat, so that's fair game.
Fully fair game. Seth Connor digging the body shots. Oh, nice. Oh, big. I see a cut on the head of Seth Connor. Could have been that left hand over top from Ryan O'Shea.
And here we're going to get more into the cerebral part, I think, with these two.
Well, this is where they want to be. Now you got a purple belt on top of a black belt. Oh, sorry. Ryan O'Shea.
Ryan O'Shea on top.
Correction, you got Ryan O'Shea on top of Seth.
And I think just if he starts to be a little bit more vicious, and come at it with a lot of attacks and get heavy on it.
Oh, threatening the key lock, the Americana there. Seth Connor bridges off.
And this is where he's got to just do that. Start dropping bombs so that, you know, you don't give Seth an opportunity to look for any submissions.
We saw that in the last fight, Scott Lamont, Christy Burns. You know, Christy Burns on top of Scott, waited it out. I think Seth Connor, much more stronger jiu-jitsu game. As we're seeing now, it's creating different opportunities.
Yeah.
But that is something you do not want to do, is expose your back with something on top of you. And again, now we're going for the arm bar.
Well, jiu-jitsu changes, right? When you're getting some elbows to the face and you start to see blood off your left eye.
Oh.
Oh, yikes. What a good job of mitigating that.
Nice. No quit. He rolled out. Oh, this is high-level grappling right now. Rolls out of the armbar, jumps over the head. Ryan O'Shea attempts the triangle. Seth was able to maintain both arms inside. He's on top. You can see how comfortable they are, Kara. You can see that.
Yeah, it's amazing to watch when you get a chance. For those that don't know much about jiu-jitsu, it's a bit trickier, but when you get to see submission attempt after submission attempt, it's pretty awesome, and what they're able to defeat.
It's the fluidity. It's really the gentle, violent art. That's round one. I don't know.
I'm giving it to Ryan O'Shea.
Yeah, I think with the couple near submissions, that may have sealed in the round.
I think he landed some big elbows too when he was on top, and I think on his feet he landed a lot of knees. They may not have had such a dramatic effect because Seth is so tall, he couldn't really get the leverage, but he's landing a lot of those shots, and he landed some strikes on his feet because he was able to kind of hollow out his body and angle in and hit him because Seth stands so high, he's so straight up.
Yeah, that reach, that length that Seth has might not serve him well because of the way Ryan O'Shea's fighting, right? He's keeping low, he's moving his head, and he's looking to set up that overhand with Seth with his chin in his air.
Seconds out.
Leaving it out there for him.
I think Seth has to just get
Here
a
we
little
go,
more vicious.
London,
He's got to round his
round
shoulders in
number
and come in
two.
a little bit more aggressive instead of more of that relaxed style. Because Ryan O'Shea is coming in with that more of that style.
That's something, you know, coming from a striking versus a grappling background. You know, the grapplers tend to relax a little bit more.
And if it's a wrestler, they're aggressive. Like it's so different.
Yeah, everyone's got a different style,
right.
and you know, styles make fights, and definitely what background you come from plays a huge part of what the fight looks like. Oh, and a big kick from Ryan O'Shea.
He swept his legs out with that kick, followed all the way through it. Ryan O'Shea continuing to stalk. Does a good job keeping his hands up and looks for the big shot, swings all the way through it. And there again, you're seeing Seth chin in the air, and that's just from, you know, more of his experience comes from the ground game. But both these guys pretty game to throw. I think when we see the clinch, we're going to see the knees again. They seem pretty comfortable with that.
Ryan O'Shea been working with his boxing coach, Josh Ferguson, out of Stratford, BJJ. I think that's a credit to the head movement and the footwork and the hands that he's doing. But right now we got Seth Connor with Ryan pinning Ryan O'Shea against the fence.
And if I'm Ryan, I'm going to try and spin out of there and get back, you know, to my feet. I mean, even though he had a lot of success on the ground, I think that he seems to have the advantage on his feet.
I think definitely you can see that a much more stronger advantage on the feet than the ground.
Again, big knees.
Oh.
And this is where I would, you know, spin out, create space, get that range, big elbow.
Nice takedown. Oh, big hammer fist. Big hammer fist.
You're starting to see the body language of Seth kind of feeling like he's out of his depth a little bit.
There he goes. Big roll. We're back in the mount position. This time Ryan O'Shea wasn't able to get rolled off. He maintains the top position.
Isolating that arm. We're going to see if he can do some work here. This is where the ref's going to step in.
Yep, this is a dangerous position with that arm trap, delivering devastating strikes.
And grinding that forearm in. Looking for those elbows, and he's kind of attacking where the cut already is.
Yep, Seth's got to create space, get on his side, push that knee, try to recompose that guard position. But right now, this is a very, very difficult position. Oh, there we go. With that bump and a little bit of a hip movement, was able to recompose to half guard right now is Seth Connor.
And this is where I think Ryan's just got to posture up and just start dropping leather. You know, just kind of making Seth uncomfortable again. I do enjoy the submission attempts because I like seeing how well someone can get out of it, where typically if they were fighting anyone else, they couldn't get out of these.
It's incredible. Now, as I said earlier, when Seth was coming in, this is where he likes to be. This is his home.
See, and he is in this, Ryan's in this position now because he wasn't dropping leather. He allowed Seth to get comfortable, you know, at home where he is on his back.
Climbing those legs high. Excellent flexibility, looking set up a triangle armbar or something. But you can't forget Ryan O'Shea is not a black belt for nothing. He's pressuring his way to the top, looking to create an opening to be able to pass that guard and deliver those devastating strikes again. Excellent movement, excellent movement. He pressure passes his way. Side control. Ryan O'Shea on top.
Neon Bella looking for that mount again.
Oh, big bridge. Ryan O'Shea riding him.
The benefit for Seth is that he knows when he's in trouble, so he knows when he's to fight the hands. Yeah. He knows when he's got to try and get out of there.
Oh, no, the education by Seth on the ground is fantastic. Like, he knows exactly what he's doing. But you're seeing the level, right? Ryan O'Shea, everything that Seth is offering, Ryan's got an answer. Oh! Big kick.
Nice kick.
I think that might have been the nicest round kicks I've seen from someone's back.
We give him a 10. We should have cards with numbers on it. That was a 10. We liked it. Again, Seth picking up another round. Ryan O'Shea picking up, I think, 2 rounds to nothing.
No, definitely. I say 2-0 right now, going into the third for Ryan O'Shea. You can definitely see Seth Connor is breathing heavy. He's leaning against the cage. His cornerman, Chris the Menace Clements, shouting instructions to him.
See, this is the tricky thing. If you're Seth and you're down 2 rounds, it's tough to be a jiu-jitsu guy at this point. This is where you want to be that striker where, hey, I have to get a knockout, right? So this is tricky because he's got to look for a submission, but he's facing a purple belt, or a black belt. I mean, that's where it's really tricky, right?
Look, but we saw that at the very end there. Seth could bring a kick up at any moment.
And that's what he needs to do. You know, he's got to change the momentum of this fight. And Ryan O'Shea has to come in if he wants to look for that overhand right. You can't look at the mat when you throw it because it brings your arm across your body instead of hitting the guy in the face. So he can land that overhand, but he's just got to look at his opponent when he throws it.
If there's any time to land it, it's right now. Third round, he got fatigue on the face of Seth Connor. Oh, but he opted to throw the high kick. Nice, good push kick by Seth.
And that's what he should do. Just keep his range, keep that long jab, and, keep some long kicks. I wouldn't kick too high because that's what we're going to see from Ryan. He's just got to kind of separate that overhand right from his face a little bit.
He's starting to attack with that right straight to the body as well. Potentially setting up for that overhand right over top. Oh, and again.
Yeah. Oh, there's those big knees up the center again by Ryan O'Shea. Elbows in close quarters. A little bit infighting, some dirty boxing we're seeing.
Nice, nice. Short elbow, short uppercut elbow off the right hand. Back to the knees.
And Seth doing a good job of dragging Ryan's head down before that knee. And that's kind of what, if you could achieve that, that's going to pay dividends.
It's the dirty boxing.
And that's where you have to get to the point where you get comfortable just let him go, get out of this clinch work, and just let your hands go, because you're going to have the advantage. People almost like etiquette, they just play this like clinch game, right? Whereas if one breaks away, you see a big difference.
Yeah, yep. Seth looking to dig, pick up a leg. Looks to chest pressure his way down to the mat, and he does.
Drags him down. We'll see if he can do something with this.
Excellent jiu-jitsu defense from Seth Connor and both these guys.
Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Oh, potentially got him in a Americana key lock. Ryan O'Shea maintaining position, hipping away, taking that pressure off his elbow.
Just locking up that arm. What a great job to change that.
Ryan O'Shea able to power his way to the top. Now he's mounted again. Short elbows from the top. Fans are on their feet. Ryan O'Shea.
To imagine he's has no amateur fights, no professional fights, going for the quick transition. We have seen Seth work his way out of this before.
Excellent, excellent job by Seth Connor. Definitely his jiu-jitsu defense. The black belt's throwing everything at him. Everything at him. Armbar, Kimura, Americana, nothing.
That's what's so amazing stylistically, because he was facing someone else. They probably wouldn't have a chance to play this kind of defense.
No. It's a tough fight for Seth, because he usually comes in. He comes into the fight as the stronger jiu-jitsu competitor.
Right.
Now he's got him tied up in the triangle. Oh, I may have spoke too soon.
That's what Seth needs to do a little bit more, is just look for
but
leather.
he's in a tight position right now. He's got that arm locked. He's in a triangle position. This could be over any second if Ryan O'Shea is able to create the proper angle, cut that circulation off. It's in, but I don't see any quitting Seth.
Seth, continues to fight this.
Big heart by Seth.
Well, and what's great, these guys have been in these positions so many times, they're not as apt to be uncomfortable with it. Again, third time he's fought off a huge armbar.
Amazing.
And the crowd appreciates that, and I love that, because oftentimes when you see guys on the ground, people are wanting them to get back to their feet, but they really appreciate what they're seeing here.
For sure. What heart shown by Seth Connor right now. He's still in the game. He's got to work. He's in the game, but his clock's ticking. The clock is ticking. He's got to make something happen.
Well, yeah, this is where you go for the risk. I mean, you have to look for, you get into a position to drop leather. You got to look for some submissions. You got to do something to change the
10 seconds is left. Ties up the arm. He's just going to ride the clock out. We hear the horn.
Wow, Ryan O'Shea in his corner must be thrilled for the fact that he has, this is his first time in the cage. What a great job that he did.
Amazing. Ryan O'Shea, he might have looked like almost like a kickboxer right there. He looked awesome on the feet. His ground game was fantastic. Seth Connor, you got to give credit's due. Seth Connor defended the whole time. He was in some bad positions, triangles, arm bars. I think he escaped 3 arm bars. A lesser of a man would have tapped. Never once did he think about quitting.
Well, I think it's what you said, essentially, is that he's so used to being the upper-level jiu-jitsu guy that he can get away with not having as strong a stand-up to get off some of these submissions. But then you're facing a black belt like Ryan O'Shea, who wished he fought 10 years ago when it was illegal. So he's been working on this for a long time and doing a really great job of bringing kind of a complete package. And I really think for Ryan, that was a tough opponent. Some guys for their debut aren't seeing somebody that tough across the cage from them.
Yeah, no, imagine Ryan was fighting 10 years ago. The devastatingness that would be with him now.
Fish hooks and headbutts.
Yeah, yeah. Great job. I think it's safe to say he's got the fight. You never know, but Ryan O'Shea, I say with a clean sweep, 3-0.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Keep that round of applause going for both of the fighters in this cage. After 3 rounds of professional mixed martial arts, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Mutter, Judge Vandermeer, and Judge Hanif all scored this contest 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision, Ryan O'Shea.
Well, as expected.
All right.
Ryan O'Shea with the decision win. over
Ladies and
Seth
gentlemen,
Bonner.
I'm here in the center of the cage with your winner, Ryan O'Shea. 30-27, all 3 judges' scorecards, definitive win right there. You are now an undefeated professional mixed martial artist. How does that feel?
Long time coming, thank you.
Well, you got a lot of fans here, so I know you got a lot of people to thank and a lot of things to say. So I'm gonna hand it over to you. Here we go.
Thank you for, well, first of all, where's Woodrow? Woodrow, you said I couldn't sell any tickets, man. I just want to say thank you to my team, Stratford BJJ. You guys know, been working hard, getting up the gym running. First and foremost, I got to thank my wife, Alex. It took a lot to get me in here, and she took on all the family duties, and I got a lot to make up for. And also, I was supposed to fight at 155. She got me down to 145 safely, so I could actually fight. So thank you, honey. And Jiu-Jitsu for Life team, TNT Boxing, my coach, Josh. I'm sorry I didn't get the right hand for you, but it was fun. Thank you. Thank you, Prospect. Aikiro.
All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to ask you, I know you took a little cut there and it's going to take a little time to recover. How soon can we look forward to having you back in the cage?
I got about 3 months of paperwork to get through.
Good enough. Is there anybody you're looking at? Any fighter you want to call out?
Not right now. I got to take some time off, and maybe next summer. We'll see.
Good enough, man. We'll see you next time. Congratulations. Your winner, London, Ontario, Ryan O'Shea.
Beautiful performance, almost a veteran performance from Ryan O'Shea.
It's funny you say that because I was essentially going to say he doesn't need much time before, you know, typically after your first you want to develop a little bit, see some of your holes, but he's really ready to step right back in the cage as long as he's healed up.
Solid performance.